Greetings from Father Isidore Clarke as we celebrate Palm or Passion Sunday. These two titles, Palm or Passion Sunday, reflect the twin themes of today's Mass. And what a contradiction they present. Today's Mass begins with a joyful procession of pilgrims. They have come to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover, which commemorated God delivering his people from slavery in Egypt. In each annual celebration, God renewed his commitment to rescue his people from evil, and they renewed their commitment to be faithful to him. In one such group of pilgrims, the crowd proclaimed Jesus to be the Son of David, who had come in the name of the Lord. He was the promised Messiah, who triumphantly enters the city of God to claim his kingdom. In his honour, the crowd strew his path with their cloaks and with branches. But then, what a contrast in the Passion narrative! While Jesus' entry into the Holy City was joyful and triumphant, on his journey out of the city, he was condemned as a criminal, carrying the cross on which he would be executed. Christ's closest supporters, his disciples, would desert him. Their leader Peter would disown him 3 times. The crowd, which had enthusiastically proclaimed Jesus as king, turned against him. Certainly throughout his trial and passion, everyone proclaimed Jesus as king. But that was only in mockery. The crowds and the Roman soldiers who crowned him with thorns didn't believe he was king. Nor did Pilate, who condemned him as Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. And yet, everyone was so right in calling Jesus king, so wrong in the way they understood his sovereignty. True, Jesus was not crowned king with pomp and ceremony in the Temple of Jerusalem or in a palace. Instead, he was enthroned on the cross. His kingship was very different from what people had expected. His sovereignty lay in the defeat of evil by the power of his goodness and love. Far from being a tragic failure, nailed helplessly to the cross, it was there, on the cross, that Jesus was enthroned and defeated all the forces of evil arrayed against him. As we begin Holy Week, we are called to travel with Jesus. With the pilgrims waving their palms, we are called joyfully to welcome Jesus as the promised Messiah. As we do so, we must recognize that his kingdom is very different from any other. His is a kingdom of love, justice, and peace. If we are to enter that kingdom and share in Christ's victory, we must follow Christ on the way of the cross to the glory of the resurrection. That means we must die with him to sin if we are to ride with him to share in his victory over sin and death. Only then will we really welcome Christ as our King. Only then will we be his true subjects. Do try to enter the spirit of Holy Week by coming to its services.